Hey everybody, Mark here at Discover Your Home. Thank you for joining me here tonight on this very windy night in the Windy City. And tonight I'm going to talk to you a little bit about kitchen islands and some of the unique things that we are seeing and ways to adapt your island to your new kitchen, and some of the things that, islands really were just kind of, just big square or rectangle, shapes in the middle of your kitchen. You had a countertop, and it was really more for, functionality more than anything. So nowadays we're seeing a lot of things that where the island is really kind of a focal point, and it can be either functionality, it can be a workstation, it can be an area that you entertain, or just have the family, sit around and enjoy their meals. So we're seeing a lot that's out there nowadays. We're seeing a lot where they are moving the cooktops from, say, a countertop section of the kitchen over into the island. So tonight I'm just going to give you a couple suggestions on things that you might want to do for your kitchen, and hopefully dress up your kitchen and really make it more fitting to your needs. So let's talk a little bit about more the end cap of the kitchen islands, and we're going to talk about the end cap that's facing like the stove. A lot of times if an island is running kind of parallel with counters and then kind of intersects with the stove, what we're seeing is one nice little feature is where in the kitchen we have a kind of display rack for larger platters when you're serving large groups or maybe your family. It goes along. So there again, it's an easy access from, say, the stove to the end cap of your kitchen. Spice racks, another one. That really gets back to a little bit more function, being able to use the space there, kind of turn around and grab what you need. Because I'll tell you what, sometimes it can. Spice racks are always kind of been a challenge in when we've worked in kitchens, because there's no. There's some good places to put them, but it just never seems like there's always a place to kind of tuck them away. This was kind of a little bit more in plain sight. So go ahead and think about that for your next kitchen when you go ahead and remodel and do something to the island. How much more you'll have access to it, your salt, your peppers, your cayennes, and paprikas and all that good stuff. So consider that. Let's talk a little bit about storage, just areas for cookbooks, quick things, just a set of doors there for maybe some tools that for utility purposes that will be kind of ready and able to, say, going into your stove. Maybe a small area for your pots and pans. So it just depends on how you do the layout of it. The one final thing I think we can talk about is we're seeing a little bit of it in incorporating their pets. And what I mean by that is, trying to incorporate kind of a water and food station for the dogs. I find a lot of times, depending upon size of kitchen, if you've got a real large kitchen, it usually isn't too challenging. But we're seeing a lot now where we're incorporating the dog's water bowl and food bowl in that island area. So a lot of times you don't want to kick the dog bowl or and have water flying all over, dog food all over the place. So it kind of is set within the cabinet structure and kind of hidden away a little bit, which is kind of nice and a little bit more convenient for maybe you and your pets. Now let's talk about the opposite side of that island. Let's talk a little bit about the really the kind of the entertainment side of it, where you're going to be probably facing out towards, say, a family room or into the dinette area of your kitchen. Very traditional, A lot of our customers are putting in like a wine rack or some sort of beverage containing area. So also possibly like a mini fridge, incorporating possibly even a small sink in that area. We find that's kind of been around for some time. You're seeing a little bit more areas where you could also possibly even put a microwave drawer in that area. We've done a couple of those, and I personally like them. I like the fact I don't use our microwave in our home. It's an upper one above our stove as much, but I do like the microwave drawers. It's a level thing for me. It's it's very comfortable. You're not having to reach up over a stove. Hey Elizabeth, how are you doing tonight? Thank you for joining us. I appreciate that. So there again, it can be a functional thing. A lot of times, what we're seeing is that people are really trying to incorporate a little bit of functionality and a little bit of form, entertainment. You'll see we'll have two levels. We'll have a working area and then maybe kind of a bar top area. We're seeing finishes change a little bit on countertops. You're starting to see a little bit more wood, and what we just saw recently is a kind of a matte finish. It's a very dull look. I know Cambria has come up with a matte finish. I think they have about half a dozen or so of their countertop designs that will you can incorporate the matte finish. We have yet to install one, but I have seen it. It is I have a tendency to like less shine in my materials, not so shiny. Not glossy levels and shine levels can change over time. I find that I think a more subtle look gives it a more relaxed feel in your kitchen. So these are just a couple ideas that we throw out to folks, and maybe when the time comes you go to remodel your kitchen, these are things that you can incorporate in your kitchen. It really is endless. It gets back to your budget. It gets back to your creative style, and it gets back to kind of how you want to run your kitchen. So hey, thank you again for joining me. I hope you guys had a nice Mother's Day out there, and thanks for joining me. I'm Mark at Discover Your Home. Have a great evening.